This is the Not Figment Podcast. A track from me called Plutonian Funk. Up next, we have one from the guy that produced my favorite album of all time, called Van by Cannibal Ox. His name is LP. Most people know him better as half of Run the Jewels, but his solo albums are actually where I think his work shines the most. And this is track that kind of speaks for itself. It's one of the most mind-crushing things you'll hear. It's called Death of Buck 50 by LP. Up next is a track from Madagascar. You don't hear that often, not the movie. This artist, Mo Kolours. Kolours with a K and a U, spelled the British way. This track, I don't know what the name means. It's one of those rare ones you can listen to for 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours in a row. And it's only a 2-minute song. Just eminently loopable. It's called Bakiraq by Mo Kolours. Enjoy.
Right now, this time is clear. Right now, what I can see before me now. Right now, this time is clear.
Bakiraq from Mo Kolours out of Madagascar. Check him out. Resident Advisor is a big fan. Feature his music a lot. Unique. And one of those tracks you can sing along with, even though, at least I can. I have no idea what he's saying. I don't know the language at all. Next, we got Soul Coughing with Screenwriter's Blues. Twisted and funny take on Los Angeles. Check it out.
Exits to freeways twisted like knots on the fingers. Jewels cleaving skin between breasts. Your Cadillac breathes 400 horses over blue lines. You are going to Reseda to make love to a model from Ohio whose real name you don't know. You spin like the Cadillac was overturning down a cliff on television. And the radio is on, and the radio man is speaking, and the radio man says women were a curse. So men built Paramount Studios, and men built Columbia Studios, and men built Los Angeles. It is 5 a.m., and you are listening to Los Angeles. It is 5 a.m. and you radio man says it is a beautiful night out there in Los Angeles. You live in Los Angeles, and you are going to Reseda. We are all in some way or another going to Reseda someday to die. And the radio man laughs because the radio man fucks a Model 2. Gone Savage for teenagers with automatic weapons and boundless love. Gone Savage for teenagers who are aesthetically pleasing, in other words, fly. Los Angeles beckons the teenagers to come to her on buses. Los Angeles loves love. It is 5 a.m. and you are listening to Los Angeles. It is 5 a.m. and you are listening to Los Angeles. I am going to Los Angeles to build a screenplay about lovers who murder each other. I am going to Los Angeles to see my own name on a screen, 5 feet long and luminous. As the radio man says, it is 5 a.m. and the sun has charred the other side of the world and come back to us and painted the smoke over our heads an imperial violet. It is 5 a.m. and you are listening to Los Angeles. It is 5 a.m. and you are listening to Los Angeles. You are listening. 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 You are listening to Los Angeles.
1994, bitch. 1994. Soul Coughing is a hilarious band. I'm not going to pretend to know that much about their discography, but the lead singer, Mike Dowdy, really funny, has his own way of putting lyrics together that they don't really make a lot of sense if you read them, but combined with the music, they create a vibe. And I guess that's what it's all about. And this track, it's 5 a.m. and you're listening to Los Angeles. Next time you have a night and it's 5 or 6 or 7 or something, put this one on when things seem like they're dying down. And you'll see. Really, really well mixed for an indie record from the early 90s. It'll kick your party right back up. Up next, a big left turn here. We're going into dubstep world. This producer, Dalek One, I think from Minnesota, but his stuff sounds like it's straight out of Croydon or Bristol or something. I don't know how he does it, what the deal is, but it's the only dubstep artist I've become newly interested in a very long time. Really has this sound, really dungeon, cavern, UK grime-based thing. I'm making the bass face right now. And I love his stuff. Really, really good. Also creates a vibe. Very, very different vibe. But he has his own sound, and I love it. Check this out. This is a new one from Dalek One.
It's called giving off nearly twice the radiation released by the bomb in Hiroshima. And that's every single hour after hour. 20 hours since the explosion, so 40 bombs worth by now. 48 more tomorrow, and it will not stop. Not a week, not a month. It will burn and spread its poison until the entire continent is dead. A fireman was severely burned on his hand by a chunk of smooth black mineral on the ground outside the reactor building. Smooth black mineral. Graphite. There's graphite on the ground.
Of what importance that could
There's
be?
only one place in the entire facility where you will find graphite. Inside the core. If there's graphite on the ground outside, it means it wasn't a control system tank that exploded. It was the reactor core. It's open.
All right, that was Dalek One with Dust. All about the sub bass, all of his productions. He's got dozens and dozens of tracks on SoundCloud. Go check him out. DALEK 1. Love his productions. Up next, Deadmau5. Don't really need to say shit about him. This track is called Word Problems. So enjoy the greatest of all time. for lack of a better name. Before that track, I said I don't really need to say anything about Deadmau5, but I don't know. I mean, I know it's art and it's a creative expression that's unique, and we're not supposed to compare people, but it seems like with Deadmau5, you can take any element of music production. The melodies, sure, but the engineering, the arrangement, the way that he automates stuff over long periods of time, his ability to create looping synth riffs that resolve themselves but don't get boring. His ability to create 8-9 minute tracks that you can listen to on loop is unique. Literally, I don't think there's anybody else in the world who can do it. And I think, and I know Steve Duda is with me on this, is who I got this idea from, 200, 300 years from now, when they study electronic music the way that we study classical, I think Deadmau5 is going to be the artist that is remembered and is the face of a entire style of music for historians, not just today, but for people in the future that study our era. I think he's a genius beyond generations, just unbelievable, and such an inspiration. And that track is one of my favorites because it's such a masterclass in arrangement, not really melodic. There's no melody really going on, but he, again, puts together this 8-minute track that you can listen to over and over and over again. It's a lot harder than people think. Anyway, on to another GOAT, The Hacker, with Falling. This is from his 2004 album, Raves Mechaniques. Enjoy. Holy shit. That was The Hacker. I've played him a lot on this show, maybe too much. But he's got a stacked, deep library of music that's basically the soundtrack to an ego death. If you know, you know. Up next, a guy who I genuinely think is one of the nicest people in the industry. Came up on Desert Hearts, then started his own label, Percomaniacs, and put out an album earlier this year. Talking about Lubelski. He is so dedicated to his sound. I think he's found his own sound. One of those rare producers that came up on the SoCal, you know, Dirty Bird, Desert Hearts tip. And then has found success with European labels too, like Elro and Groove and such. Impeccably balanced bass and all his stuff, just incredibly groovy. Starting, I think, to find his own sound, which I'm really excited about. Can't wait to see where he comes up with next. And one of the reasons I'm looking forward to live music opening up back eventually, because his sets are something that I really want to be able to start catching again. This is Lubelski and Durante with What I Would Do to Teleport to You. Enjoy.
teleport to you.
All right, there's an underrated track for you. Durante and Lubelski, off of Lubelski's album, with What I Would Do to Teleport to You. Now, up next, we have a track from Pryda, also known as Eric Prydz, who you might have heard of. This one's called Sunburst, one of my favorites from him, from one of the deepest back catalogs you can imagine. Check it out. Sunburst from Pryda, also known as Eric Prydz. Now we got a track from a different kind of legend, DJ Deeon. This track is from 1998, maybe earlier. One of the guys that brought the grimiest, most shameless perversion to dance music. So many just disgusting tracks that are awesome and pretty funny to listen to, but they get the floor moving. I first heard of this guy because of Kill Frenzy, who played his track that I'm about to play. Slowed it down because he makes kind of Chicago house that's pretty in your face and very high tempo. So this is a slowed down version of the Dik Suk. Enjoy.
I'll take the head off that motherfucker. You don't want none of these talkers, cause you can't fuck with me. Sucking your dick is what I wanna do. Licking your balls until they turn blue. Sucking your dick is what I wanna do. Licking your balls until they turn blue. Yeah, you know I take the head off that motherfucker. You don't wanna fuck with me. Come on with it. Pull it out. I'm ready for it. Sucking your dick is what I wanna do. Licking your balls until they turn blue. Sucking your dick is what I wanna do. Licking your balls until they turn blue. Break it down.
Yeah, you know you talk a lot of shit, but I knock them tongues about your motherfucking mouth. Sucking my dick is what you wanna do. Yeah, licking my balls until they turn blue. Come on with it. Sucking my dick is what you wanna do. Licking my balls until they turn blue. Yeah, you right.
You real funny. Come on with it. Licking my clit is what you wanna do. Put your tongue in my ass until they turn blue. I got you now. Licking my clit is what you wanna do. Licking my ass until they turn blue. Nigga, what's up? You right.
Never that hoe. Yeah, you wanna suck my dick. Nah, I don't eat nothing to get up and walk away. You know what I'm saying? Cause sucking my dick is what you like to do. Licking my balls until they turn blue. Yeah, I know you like that shit. Sucking my dick. Sucking my dick. Licking my balls. Licking my balls. You right. All you dick sucking hoes. Ain't no shame in your game, you know what I'm saying? You nigga mention something about you sucking that dick, you get offended. But we know there's one nigga out there you putting your mouth on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Kind of all over the place today. Very Figment mix right now. And we're about to finish it off with the last track. This artist, a bit more serious than what you just heard. When he dropped his first album and remained anonymous for a long time, back in 2006, nobody who listened to it had really heard anything like it before. His sound captured the melancholy, the loneliness, the dark, shadowy, rainy vibe of depressed London like no one before. He kind of created his own sound, which is one of the biggest compliments you can give any producer ever. And not one to be shrouded in fake mystery. He genuinely could not be discovered. No one could find anything about him. Talking about Burial, obviously. You know, Code 9 is probably the best connected person in the industry to him, and spoke often about how Burial just doesn't want any publicity despite his sound, and that character seemed to fit the music that came out of us in his name. 2 albums, the self-made one and Untrue, that captured a feeling and a sound like nobody ever did and nobody has since, and he has a lot of imitators, but maintains his status as a true original and a very rare one. This is my favorite track of his. He's got some that are better known, but nothing hits the feeling of this one. And his ability to create a groove with really quiet, minimal sounds, I think is unparalleled from a technical perspective. This is Burial with Etched Headplate.
A hardcore.
Enjoy, and I'll see you
He's
next
not
time.
setting out to hurt people. He's got a lot of love in him. So, you know, for his mum, his brother, his girlfriend, he actually, I think, wants to do the right thing. So it's more a question of willpower, self-discipline, circumstances.
You